So thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you for inviting me here. This is, in fact, my second time visiting your university. The first time I came, just saw the campus. I had like a quick tour. I loved the location. I loved the campus. It was end of November, beginning of winter, and now we are welcoming spring. So it's getting warmer and everything is moving on. And talking about everything is moving on, while you are sitting here or having your morning coffee, you need always to keep in mind that in the world, there are people like you, designers, young thinkers, who are going everywhere, looking for the opportunities, pushing hard, studying the way you are doing and the way you will be doing. And I will be more than happy as well, apart from answering your questions, helping you and supporting you in maybe exploring opportunities worldwide. I've been in so many countries and I see so many cultures. And I think that what will be really the great inspiration for you is really to explore the world. Again, I want to thank the management of the university for hosting me today, and also the SIAD Baltic office that is represented by these three amazing people, Mr. Arimas, who is the director of the Baltic office of SIAD that we recently launched, Mr. Gites, who is the SIAD ambassador, and Ms. Ruta, who is, again, she's the alumni from the university and having great connection with it, and who is leading the chapter for, for all the students and everyone, for all the events and things, opportunities, competitions that we will be launching with SIAD. So, I said SIAD. So what is SIAD? Briefly, the Council for International Accreditation for Architecture and Design is an intergovernmental organization. You know the United Nations, yes? Yeah, the United Nations. So Lithuania, your country, are you all from Lithuania here? Anyone is not from Lithuania? Raise your hand. Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from the Philippines.
From the Philippines. Where in Philippines?
Manila.
I've been in Cebu recently. Yeah. So I've been in your country. Where are you from?
Finland, Helsinki.
From Finland, Helsinki. Okay, great. So not very far from here. All right. So your countries are very important members, of all of them, of the United Nations. And you are from Finland. You know that Finland is sitting on top of the countries that are implementing the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. So you should be very proud of that. Now, later you will tell me where Lithuania is, ranked. You can Google that information, but after listening to me. Now, all these state members, the 193 members, they are having different approaches, different standards. So we learn about American standards, yes? We have British standards, we have Japanese standards, German, Scandinavian, whatever. And then the United Nations said, we need to work on something called international standards, because we are having international students here as well, yes? So, and you will be going and working in different places around the world. So you should be able to adapt, and you should be able to be recognized. So when you graduate from KTU, that is like great university in Kaunas and in Lithuania, if you want to move, for example, to San Francisco, or if you want to move to Uruguay or Mozambique, or you don't know where your opportunity will be. It's very important that you are recognized and that you can hit the ground running. It means that you go there, you are able to work. It's not like, no, I need now to verify my credentials. I need to wait for, spend 2 years, working, studying, making equivalency and all that. This is where SIAD is helping you and helping all the universities worldwide. And we work on integrating the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals. The United Nations put 17 goals that are very important. Here are like the associations that are associated with SIAD, but it came all, from this. Do you know this gentleman? Mr. Antonio Guterres, he's the Secretary General of the United Nations. So he was saying that, by the way, you will have there, a number that is coming every few slides, not on all the slides. And that will show you where you are in my presentation. I will not tell you how many slides in total, but you will see that at the end. So unless we act now, if we don't act now, currently, in the world, the agenda, the 2030, because the world put an agenda for 2030. When is 2030? Less than 5 years from now, yes? So 4.5 years from now, it will become an epitaph for a world that might have been. Do you know what is an epitaph? What is that, the meaning of that word? Okay, you know, sometimes if somebody is dead, you know, they have a book. Sometimes people come and like write a note, yeah, in the memory of that person. This is what we will be putting for our world. There are serious things that are happening in the world, and each one of you is responsible. You know, we are responsible when we are consuming rightly, you know, our products. We are responsible when we are taking care of the environment. We are responsible when we plant a tree. We are responsible when we cut a tree. We are responsible when we build something, okay? When we design something. You know, sustainability in design is very important. And sometimes you apply for a project, you have 100 designers who are doing many designs, and only one project is selected. What about all that work that has been done? This is worse than the plastics. You know, you need to think about it this way. So that effort that you are spending, and it will go, you know, unnoticed, and people are falling in depression sometimes. Oh, I did all this work and nobody is taking my project. Oh, I graduated from the university, I cannot find a job. Yeah, I am finishing my 4th year, I'll get in the market. What will be next? I am in my 3rd year, I know that, okay, I have 4th year. If my program is 5 years, I'm in the 4th year, I go to the 5th year. But what will happen after? You know, are you ready for the next step? Are you having that connection? This is important for you. So these are the 17 goals, yeah? And the world is pushing for implementing those. To have no poverty in the world, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, yeah? You are an educational institution, gender equality, clean water, sanitation to everybody in the world. You have clean water, you have great resources of water in this part of the world. But we have other countries where they don't have access to water. We have children who are dying in Africa and in Asia and some places because they don't have water. In time, you have plenty of water in different areas. So all these things, life on land, climate action, below water, whatever, up to the partnerships for the Sustainable Development Goals. This is where we focus at SIAD. So when you design any project, I want you, please, to put in mind that we need to implement these things. I know that many of you are working on developing projects. Many professors, they put some of the SDGs that you need to target. But if this is becoming in our, you know, in our life, in our culture, to implement the goals, to think about all those, when we design a project, your projects will be fantastic. And you will have the best argument and you will get the best grades. Now, talking about inspiration, I'll start a little bit with some of the, some inspiration maybe for you that is coming from leaders, you know, around the world. So, less is more. Yeah, you heard that before, yeah? So, less is more. So sometimes, you know, in less details or with a sharp idea, you can deliver more. But then, less but better. When we design something, it should be better. So if you want to, I always tell my students, when you want to design a building, don't design another building. Design the building. When you want to design a mall, design the mall. When you want to design a park, you design the park. Think about something that will become the reference, a landmark that will be a reference in the project. And because design creates culture, and culture shapes values, and the values determine the future. There is no future without values. Now, the concept of a design, if it's like a piece of furniture or if it's related to architecture or whatever. So we say like keep drawing. Of course, you know, with the technology, I work with the most advanced technology, okay? I work with all the software that you work with, along with my team, and we are experiencing some software as well that will be launched very soon, you know, so we work as validators for new software that will be here. Okay, so Midjourney, for example, you know Midjourney. We've been working on Midjourney since like more than 8 years for validation. And then it has been launched. And it had like very good things in the inspiration and the development, but also it had big flaws because you can get to funny things sometimes when you get that collective data. So Le Corbusier, you know Le Corbusier, yeah? One of the great architects, he was saying, I prefer drawing to talking. So he's doing the opposite of what I'm doing now. I am talking, I'm not drawing now. Because drawing is faster and leaves less room for lies. Okay, so you express yourself by developing and designing a project. And so keep playing. I think it's important that, who is studying architecture among you? Okay, what was your favorite, like, I would say, like toy or game or something? Did anything like, led you for architecture? Like, for example, personally, I loved so much the Legos. Yeah, that was like my inspiration. And when I was like on Christmas or like my birthday, whatever, when my parents were getting me any gift, it was before I didn't know that there will be like platforms later on and PlayStations and all these things. So I was getting those. I had always the box. There is a design that is there. I was okay making what is there, but trying to create something that is more complex, more innovative, and then adding, to the other things. So like this, you are able to see the 3 dimensions and going into creating something interesting. So think always about like really playing. Now, the iceberg, yeah? And the iceberg is in fact is given as an example in many things. So for any project, we see always the final result. It's like what you see on top of the water. Well, we see the building done. We see the item that is delivered. We see the piece of furniture. We see a project that is done. But there is a process there. There are the scope, the structure, the design, the materials, until we reach the end. And you are here. When you start your project, you are at the base, and you start building it from down to up. This is something that is important that you address in your concept. Now, something that you will be facing in your journey later when you will be working. So I'm taking you now from academia to work, all right? You get a call somehow, or maybe one of your friends or family members will tell you about a project, and you get so much excited. Maybe it's designing the room of their kids. Maybe it's designing like a small shop or whatever. So you are so happy about it, and you take your first project. And later you will be taking any project, a villa, a building, anything. So you start with a client brief. Yeah, the client will tell you, yes, this is what I want. This is the idea. Great, you're excited. And you start creating a preliminary concept and suggestion. And you move on. Yeah, you give like 1 or 2 alternatives. And then you move to something that we call the client evaluation and feedback. You go to Mr. Client, you're excited about the job, about the work that you did, and you show him what you do. But then the client will tell you, yeah, it's nice, but he brings you back to the earlier stage, correct? Ruta, you're smiling, so you're facing the sunlight. So he will take you back, step, and they say, what I did wrong? I thought, everything was amazing. Then you go, you work, whatever, you continue, and you reach at the end a final concept and project details. Yeah? You develop the project, you are spending a lot of time. Time is money, correct? So it's your time. And you go for Mr. Client approval, excited. You are ready, and then Mr. Client will tell you, no, taking you back to the stage. Yeah, I like it, but that but, it means there is something wrong. It's not completely approved. Then you go for, after the client approval, you push, you go for the shop drawings, you go for the evaluation and the feedback, you are okay, you move on, you go for Mr. Client approval. At the end, I will not take you back. Now, after 2 revisions, it's enough. You place your job orders, and you go for what we call the production. That's the delivery phase. So the process, you can see, is a long process. It requires a lot of work, energy, time consumption, and all these things, but you get into the result. Now, Frank Gehry was saying, like, I don't know why people hire architects and then they tell them what to do. You know, you go, you are the architect, you are the expert, and they hire you, and then they'll come tell you, yeah, but I don't like this, you need to do that, you need to do whatever. And you feel that they are trying to, you know, instruct you. And here your ego will play a big role. I studied at KTU, you know, so many years, and I was with the great professors. I was competing with my friends, and I got these results. And Mr. Client is telling me that I need to do this or I need to do that. Now, something very important is that you go also, in many cases, you go for the client brief. You sit with the client, he will tell you about the project. You are so much excited, everything is great, you're amazed, you go, you start working, whatever, and you hit something, the client budget. And that is, now I see smiles, that's great. So you hit the reality. This is what we call the ugly truth. I'm not talking about the movie, I'm talking about a reality. That Mr. Client is making you dream big, but he is having this tiny money, you know, for you to make the project. And you will find out that even sometimes it's not worth it. Shall you do the work or not? Do you want to make that project because it's a reference or not? This is the way of taking it. So I wanted you to listen to this because it's important. They will tell you always, you heard this before, yeah? Think outside the box. You need to think always in a different way, because in your experience, in everything that you do in life, you always win. Because either you will win, you take something, or you learn. And learning is costly sometimes, but it's a learning experience. It's part of the journey. And if you look at things this way, nothing can break you. Trust me. Everything, you look at it, you will laugh at the end. It's, okay, it didn't work, fine. I move on, and you will achieve results. This is what personally I experienced in my work in Dubai. You know, in Dubai, I've been there for 17 years. This is my 18th year based in Dubai, and I work internationally. So I saw and I contributed to the building of the city, the towers, the projects, whatever. You can search into those. You can see so many projects. And this is where we've been always thinking outside of the box, thinking in a different way than even the people, the clients are thinking. Because as I was telling people when they go to work, you know, in Dubai, nobody will call you and will come to offer you a project in Kaunas to go to build a project in Dubai. You need to earn it. You need to go to knock the doors yourselves. I tell my students, you need to fight with your nails and your teeth. Yeah, you need to be aggressive in a very competitive world. Because if you are there, yeah, okay, they didn't contact me. I sent my CV, they didn't reply to me. What is this? I receive every single day 200 CVs. Do you think that I look at any of them? I don't have time to look at those. But that person who will be knocking the door and coming to my office and tell me, I sent you my CV last month, I didn't get a reply, I want to get this job, I want to work with you, is the one that I'll be inviting for a cup of coffee, giving him the chance, and moving forward. So, I'll take you through some of the projects. I gather there are like so many projects that I did, but some of the projects that I think can contribute to your journey, you know? So I collected few things. This project, yeah, that was me years ago. That is the Formula One cafe in Abu Dhabi. The client was Dar Properties. And in fact, when I moved to Dubai, beginning of 2008, yeah, long time, yeah? So, beginning of 2008, I worked with one of the architects that you know, I think she passed away, Zaha Hadid. Yeah? You heard about her, correct? Okay, so I was in charge. I've been appointed with my first company, Green Line, as senior design manager to deal with Zaha Hadid. She was concept designer for Omniat Properties, one of the big developers, and I was in charge of building those projects and making them reality. And I was the youngest in my team at that time. I had 200 people under my supervision, 211 people, and I need to deal with them, and all of them, they were older than me, and from so many nationalities. And that was the challenge. And imagine, for example, you find mistakes for Zaha Hadid in her drawings, and you need to tell her it's wrong. You know, that means that you are killed, you are dead. But in reality, because it's not like mistakes, but implementation of project is always challenging. So back in 2010, Abu Dhabi organized the first Formula One Grand Prix. Yeah, at that time it was Ferrari was leading, and Michael Schumacher, you know, the great driver, he was the one who won the first race in Abu Dhabi. And they wanted to create a cafe on the Corniche in Abu Dhabi to oversee also the track and also to present an experience. Again, think the year 2010, okay? And at that time, we said, okay, let's create a project. They asked me to design something, and I was inspired from the spoiler of the Ferrari car. That was the reason why, in fact, that project won. And that was the main inspiration, that was the main design. A structure, you know, with a glass coverage, with that spoiler that is coming from a different material that will differentiate from the project. And that is embedding all the technology. You can see that photo at night. It's beautiful, you know, with the effect that is done. This is during the process under construction, and this is the interior of it. So it's all coming and blending. The interior is always a translation of the architecture of what you have outside. And the experience there was very unique. The projects were very, you know, the plans, the drawings were very organic. Every single thing has been customized with solid surfaces and materials, embedding technology, interactive media facade from outside that is changing in colors and messages and everything that we do, binoculars that can connect, even the food experience. To this extent, the architect and designer goes into detail. So the food experience, you are on your tables. Your tables are interactive platforms, in fact. So let's say you want to have a salad. So you click on the salad. There's no like menu that is handed to you. The image of the salad will go large up to the size of your plate. You will choose the ingredients. You swipe. When you swipe in front of you, that message reaches the kitchen. And they will make the salad. They don't come to you, tell you, do you want this or no? Do you want anchovies in your Caesar salad, or do you want a piece of chicken or whatever? Again, 2010, yes? Old time, so it's a very old project. And also, we had even in those tables, you can see those screens. They were like old screen design at that time, but they are flush with the surface. You click a button, it's a double screen. Because usually when you go, you have your mobile and you tell your friend, let me show you, for example, what Mr. X sent me on Instagram, yeah? Or I want to show you that story that is from my friend or whatever. On that double screen, you can connect. And instead of like showing whatever, the other person can see what you want to show. You can have the control on it. Or you want to share a project or a study or discuss a project that you are developing at the university with your friend over a meal. So you benefit from the time. And those are popping up and closing down. The track, we had cradle catches that are placed into the project. You know, when you can see there, Abu Dhabi race was the first race that is starting during the day and finishing at night. Yeah, because the sunset in Dubai is a bit early, yeah, usually. So around like 5, 6 p.m., it's getting dark. And the Formula One race is starting earlier at 3 p.m., 4 p.m. So when the cars are speeding up on the corners, you have always the light that will show like lines behind them, yeah? Usually if you want to draw someone who is fast and running, what you do? You sketch a person and you put lines behind, yeah? So it will show that that person is running. So the idea here is that on the floor, interactive floor, you have these lights that are passing from time to time to show you the movement. And that goes with the shape of the bar of every single thing. The partitions had, you know, lights from inside. They are made like thin in order to reflect the light. Even, you know, the mirrors in the bathroom, they had like you can put your finger, it will take your body temperature, your pulse, The tile where you are standing can give you digitally your weight, so you know if you ate a lot or not. All these things, calories in your food, everything, you can get that information digitally. Now, I mentioned Zaha Hadid, and on that time, earlier, this is 2008, 2009, my first project there, we did the Omniat Properties Brand Center. So it's one of the bigger developers, and they wanted to have the brand center. And inside, these are the sales rooms where you have the projects. You click on any project, and then the project will go on the screens. And I put specifically this project for you. You can read there, the Opus. Do you know the Opus in Dubai? This is the Opus in Dubai. This is a project that Zaha Hadid designed, but she died before starting with it. And in fact, I was put in charge of developing this project after her death. So we made it as like a memorial for her. In fact, if you go to my LinkedIn profile, if you go on LinkedIn, you put Albert Fakhoury, you will see an interview that they did with me just before taking the flight coming here, 2 days ago. It was posted yesterday from inside the office. So they were talking to me, and I was speaking a little bit about that project. This is the interior. So this is what we developed. You can see the architecture, the volume, and you can see the interior, the lounge. That interview, I was sitting here, and I was talking about the project. So you see the spaces, you see the quality, you see the projects, and this is giving you an idea about what you will be developing or competing with it. Yeah, because you have so many people who are working on developing outstanding projects, and these are the spaces that we are creating and working on. So I hope that this can inspire you a little bit about the elegance and the quality, and mainly one very important sector that you should be all thinking about. In fact, it is coming to Lithuania in the coming years, which is the development in hospitality. The Baltic countries are having great future in the hospitality.
It went to the other slide.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Yeah, I'm in a rush now because of the time. Thank you. So, a lot of hotels, a lot of outstanding projects, you know, they will be coming to Lithuania. And you can see now on the development, on the restoration of some of the buildings, some new condos, some new projects that are taking shape. I saw even like changes from last November until today on the main road where we had like a tour previously. So it is promising. And I think my advice to you, focus on hotels, hospitality. That is the big sector where there will be big demand and big job opportunities. Now, one of the projects also that I wanted to show to you, just to tell you about the inspiration. This project is in Mumbai, in India. And the project is called the Namaste Hotel. You know what is Namaste?
Something with peace?
Yes, exactly. So Namaste, when you, exactly, huh? So this movement, yeah? So it's the way you salute the others, you salute the others with peace. And it's very common, you know, in India and Asia. I thought the answer will come from you, from the Philippines. All right. So, and when you say Namaste, peace, you put your hands together. And one of the main characteristics in India is they do a lot that henna design, yeah, that you have also in countries in Arabia and the Gulf region. So it's peace and with this ornamentation. And that came the inspiration for this project. It's about a building of 2 towers coming together like 2 hands, and then having that ornamentation on the facade. Remember, keep drawing, keep playing, keep creating. So who said that the facade should not be taking the pattern and represent the project? And these are the 2 towers that are connecting together, and this is the project. This is the final result. This project is now under construction. So we are at the excavation phase, but this is showing you how the project will be developed. To be a landmark, to be something distinctive. And when you will think about Mumbai in the future, when you see this project, you will remember this city. Like when you see the Eiffel Tower, you remember France, correct? When you see the Statue of Liberty, you think New York. When you see Burj Khalifa or Burj Al Arab, you think Dubai. I want to see what will be reminding me of Kaunas in the future. So something that you will be designing, correct? Or anything that will be important and interesting in Lithuania. One of the projects as well that is developed, I'll take you to the water now a little bit, the Jasmine Gardens. In Dubai, facing the shore, there is a project that is developed. You know, we have a lot of artificial islands, the Palm, Jumeirah, and all that. This project, Jasmine Garden, they did different islands that are representing the map of the world. You can see that on Google. You can see from the air how it's looking. And one of these islands is the island of Thailand. So I've been requested to develop that island. And I did the project, the concept with floating villas, with the main building, with villas on the shore. Each one of them is having access to the water and is having the Thai style. So it's not all about always technology and futuristic and whatever. Sometimes you need the culture. You need to get into these beautiful spaces, the jacuzzi, the water, whatever. And one of the main projects that has been developed because of that is what is very well known as the floating seahorse. Did you see this project before for Kleindienst? Okay, I can get you all the information that you want. Here, this project, in fact, I've been approached by Kleindienst, the developers. They are from Germany, German-Austrian, and they were based in Dubai. And they wanted to develop projects like floating villas on water. And we have very clear water there. So my inspiration was the seahorse animal, yeah, the one in the water. It's having that S shape, correct? That's why these villas are having this volume or these units. And the idea was, let's have connect to the water where the corals are the garden and where the fish are the birds in your garden. So why not to take the bedroom, the master bedroom, underwater, and then you can live that unique experience. And this is how the project has been developed by then, with all these floating things. This was like the model in my office, how we've been working on the different volumes, where it was me, on site with the team, developing the things. And the project, you have a lot of videos that you can find on YouTube, any links. If you email me, you can take my email address. I'll give you my card. I can share with you all the information that you want. I reach here, I'm about to finish, yeah. So I reach a project that is called Isla Argemone, or the Mallow Island. In fact, this project is dear to my heart because it has been developed with one of the teams that worked with me, and they were from Ukraine. Anyone from Ukraine here? No? Okay. In Ukraine, they have one of the flowers. It's called malva or mallow flower. Okay? That flower is beautiful. And in Mexico, it happened that they have a flower that is very close to it, which is called the argemone. Okay? So we called the project, we're bridging Ukraine to Mexico. So Mallow Island or Isla Argemone. And on that team, Heiko, one of the lead architects, he was in my team on the project of the Seahorse project in Dubai. So he told me, Albert, we want to do like a project there in Kiev. And I went there just before the war, 3 weeks before the war, the invasion. And we were in Kiev, and I was with the team, and we put together, a concept, an idea. Told him, yes, we can make floating, villas, something on platforms on water, but the water there is dark. The water is like from the Dnipro River, and it's dark, so we cannot make underwater. You will not see anything. But the idea was that let's save the forests. Instead of cutting the trees and building something on land, why we don't explore the water? We have more than 70% of our planet covered with water. So instead of going to think how we can build on Mars, where conditions will be completely different, whatever, let's explore areas and save the forests and the trees. And this is how this project has been developed. creating sustainable living environments on water. And this is the Argemone mexicana, or the mallow flower that is there. And that was the inspiration. You can see the leaves of it, the way they are there, and the flower itself. So the leaves inspire that main center, and the other leaves where you have all these units that are on water. And the project is developed to use the water spaces in a right way. So you have here different views, luxurious spaces, very sustainable, completely generating its own power and energy, solution for sewage and all that. And it was connected to the market demand. And you saw, we promised, that was the promise, and what that was the finished product. So we deliver what is promised, what we create and what we design. And that was the quote that I put there, like where the corals blossom like garden roses and the fish soar like birds. So that was the idea, the poetic way of saying it and addressing this message. So I wanted to conclude with this project for you. This is like a view of Isla Argemone. These are the different offices of SIAD, and we are so proud to say that you can read here. Just before the end, you have the Baltic office that is located, that will be opening very soon in Kaunas, in your city. So we will have the office here, and that will help you in seeing the project. I will leave you with a video of the Mallow Island. Always think that you have sometimes areas with dead lakes, areas where like nothing is developed there, and instead of cutting the trees around and exploring the lands, you can create on these platforms sustainable spaces, and you will have all the greenery around you that is preserved by nature, because that is our mission for saving the environment. So that was it. Thank you so much. And again, as I said, we are at the United Nations. We are the highest authority, the umbrella for the architecture and the design disciplines. And our mission is implementing and advancing the Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you so much.